Welcome back to a new Anno 1800 episode. Today we're going to talk about farming in the old world before and after the first DLC of Season 4. We're going to cover some key tips to be used for all players, min-maxers, but also beauty builders and casual players. I'm StratGamer covering city building, simulation games like Anno 1800 with game reviews, guides and let's play. Click on the red button below to subscribe to really help the channel, thank you. Okay, first thing first, let's take a quick look at the island before this DLC. This was my farming island in the Cape, where I wanted to produce all of the farming products needed for all my skyscrapers, investors, everywhere in the world. Things like grain for the biscuits that were made in Stratfall. Don't hesitate to check the video description below later if you want to find a link to a previous video I made where I showed all of the details on this island where I'm producing biscuit but many other things. Why a specific island for my farms? Well, first of all, it's because I needed more space than what was available on Stratfall, but more importantly, to be able to use the Land Reform Act that you can see here. This is immensely powerful. It gives you one extra free good every 2 cycles. Especially given how quickly my cycles are gonna be, this is huge. As you can see, this is quite a lot of grain fields, actually 40 grain farms to be precise, with all of the tractors and tons of buffs. We have the plus 60% from the Department of Labor, and as we said, the Land Reform Act for a free good. We have 3 items, starting with the Miraculous Steel Plow, plus 50% productivity, the Patent Steel Seed Drill, plus 40% productivity, and lastly the Medal Winning Producer, also plus 50%. The only item with more productivity is Ferras, but Ferras doesn't give you this 1 out of 8 champagne, which is huge because with those free champagne, I need to produce less champagne and therefore I need less grapes and less glass. The Origin of Mankind exhibition in the museum, plus 10% productivity. It's not huge, but given how many I have, it is actually a great investment. And then this botanical garden here, plus 25%, also great. As we said, also the tractors, which has a huge productivity increase and some extra good. And lastly, the plus 50% productivity from the working conditions, which I can use freely without any riot or fire problems, because this is a no workforce island. There's no workforce at all for all of these buildings, so there's no population and therefore no risks. So in total, 575% productivity, which means instead of 1 minute, only a 10-second cycle. This is huge. On top of that, you also get several free goods, as we said. So in total, that's 425 tons of grain per minute. That's pretty good, but we can do even better with the fertilizer. Let's check that out. Okay, so the fertilizer, a new resource that can only be made in the new world inside the Hacienda radius in the fertilizer works building. If you need a tutorial on that, don't hesitate to check after this video in the description below. You'll find a video especially on that topic. But while you produce it only in the new world, you can definitely transport it in the old world or even in Mbesa, and then use it in your farms, like I did here. You can see that I basically took the same space, because this is still 216 grain fields per farm, and instead of the 40 farms, we now have 37. So 3 less farms, but a bit of space taken by these new buildings, fertilizer silos, and you need 1 per farm. But now, instead of the 575% productivity, we'll now have 675. This is still increases, as you can see. You can see the plus 100%. This is a difference. So an 8-second cycle, and on top of that, another free grain every 3 cycles. And because our cycle is now even shorter, we're getting even more free grains from the Land Reform Act and the tractors. So all in all, we move from 425 to 537 tons with 3 less farms. And for that, you only need 7 tons of fertilizer, which is really not that hard to make, as you can see in the video I mentioned before. Or another way to see it is that I can still produce the same 425 tons roughly, but now only with a lot less farms. As you can see, I have cleaned all of this part here, still producing 423, and this is only with 29 farms. So instead of 40 farms, 29. And all of that space saved, because that's quite a lot of space saved. Remember, it's 216 tiles per farm, and it's 11 farms that we've saved. All that space can be used to produce more grapes, which I need both for champagne and cognac. With this, we're getting closer to finish our max population series with skyscraper investors without dockland. Remember, this is obviously very important. If I had docklands, I wouldn't need farms at all. Right now, we're still below the 1 million population, but that's because I'm focusing on finishing all of the production chains. And then when the production chains are finished, we can just put investors on the island everywhere. In the next episode, I will cover my cognac production from start to finish, including grapes, sugar, and cherry wood. Smash the like button if you enjoy, and I hope to see you next time. And of course, don't hesitate to share questions, comments, and requests below.